Welcome to the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint with your host Lolita. And today is the episode number 40th. Oh my goodness, cannot believe it's already 40 days. So welcome. And today I want to talk about stressful, toxic situation when you are working somewhere and someone suppresses your great ideas. And I want to ask you, have you been in a situation when you tell someone your idea and they kind of look at you and they're like, oh no, that's kind of stupid. I mean, why would you come up with that? But then the next week there is a meeting and guess what? They present that idea like yours. Yeah, that happened to me. And it also happened to one of my clients that I recently was coaching. And that was actually his supervisor that was stealing the ideas of his. Um, Yes, that is something not nice from a supervisor point of view, obviously. That is a toxic supervisor, and you can listen into a previous my podcast episode because I was talking about people and how to handle stress. That has to do with someone in the authority position being toxic um, and controlling and just not helping you out and basically stressing you out. So, um, but suppressing other people's ideas, it's can be obviously very stressful because we all want to be validated and we all want to know that we're doing a good job. So when naturally somebody tells us like, no, I don't think that's a great idea, or even worse, going and stealing your ideas and presenting like your own could be very stressful. And we can get very angry about that too, because that's just like stealing. It's kind of like double whammy because number one, they told you that that's not a good idea, but then they present it like yours. So, what can you do about that? First, I will recommend everyone record their great ideas. That kind of works for anything that you create, because if you can prove later on, if you need to, that the idea that you created was originally yours, you win an argument. So, first, write it down your ideas, but also talk about those ideas to other people, your other coworkers, let's say. Don't just talk about with, let's say, with your supervisor and say, this is it. This is my idea. Let's go with that. Um, and now if you're thinking, but wait a minute, if I'm in a very competitive field and I want to tell my coworkers about what they want to do, they can steal it from me. And I get the idea. So then talk only with the supervisor and then talk with the supervisor's supervisor. The more people in upper management will you involve, the better it will be. As of comes to recording, for example, if your workplace uses email to communicate, you can write your idea to your supervisor and then CC someone else in the management. That way, this person knows, your manager knows that, oh, aha, so somebody else knows about this. So I cannot steal that information. I cannot steal this idea as my own. That's the protection. That should make you feel less stressed because you can control your future. You will prepare yourself for the worst. So then, if something happens and you see that somebody else talk about that idea, you can stand up and say, no, that was mine. And here is all the evidence that it is mine. But now, if you're one of those people that come from those patterns from your childhood trauma that you've been always told that your ideas don't matter and whatever you can come up that brings no value and maybe outright stupid and you are not really validated and whatever your ideas that were even successful were not celebrated, you will allow yourself to be abused because you were listening to those authorities and like, well, there's not much I can do. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow and oh my gosh, they stole my idea, but that's okay because I'm hopeless. There's nothing for me to do. The way things are, they are. And if you are right now, and I'm inviting you to think, Are you right now in a situation that there was some great idea being told by you to someone else and it didn't happen? And then you did not stood up for yourself? Ask yourself why. Obviously, you'll learn that from somewhere. And that part of you needs to be healed. That part of you needs to be noticed and validated. You do have a right to your own things, right? You do have a right to meet your own needs and honor yourself. And what happens when you start honoring yourself, you have more trust in yourself. And I know, I'm keep on telling the same thing. And that'll be easier for you because then you can listen to your heart, listen to what it says, go with the action steps that you want, take your ideas, not be afraid to make them reality, and then protect yourself on the way. I also recommend you to finding people that will be very happy to hear your ideas. Maybe you also hang out with the people that not happy to hear your ideas about anything. Then find those groups that will be happy to hear it. We all want to belong to the groups naturally, but sometimes we will get stuck with the same groups, even if it's against us. It doesn't serve us anymore. Maybe it was at some point, but now it's not anymore. But we're there because of loyalty. And if you came from a childhood that no matter how someone abusing you is still gonna be there because, well, hence you're gonna die if you being left alone, you will have this loyalty in your adult life as well. And it can work against you. So if you are in a place where somebody doesn't want to hear your ideas and they invalidate your ideas and they say, oh, this is stupid, and anything that you do brings no value, that's mean you are in the wrong place. Something came to my mind. I read this story. Uh, it's I don't think that's real, but like lots of stories can be real or not. So okay, let's just say situation. There was a beautiful horse that won numerous trophies, and it was given as a gift to the car dealership owner. He looked at the horse, he looked at his car, and he said, here I have a car that is 300 horsepower, or whatever cars are. I don't even know. Let me know. Leave me a comment below. Tell me how many horses are in one Jeep, for example. And here you're giving me one horse. What I'm gonna do with one horse? That's not enough for me. And then that horse is just not being appreciated for who he is. Now imagine that horse who won so many trophies will be given to someone who loves horses. That horse, as a gift, will be so loved. So ask yourself, are you a horse? Are you in the right stable? Are you being loved and appreciated for your ideas, for who you are? Because if you're not, maybe it's time for you to move on. Yeah, a good thought. And the funny part is that it always serves us to stay in the place where we are, and always also serves us to move away to new place. And there's so many times that when we learn something that we needed to learn, we exhaust the things that we needed to go through. The cycle closes and it's time to move on. So it might something worked for you maybe from 5 years ago, but now things have changed. So I'm inviting you now to think what situation you are in that your ideas are not valuable and you're not being validated and not appreciated. And what are you going to do to change that? Leave me a comment below, like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.